I remember the sound of laughter at my grandfather's funeral. Not gentle, nervous laughter, the cruel kind, sharp as broken glass. My cousins were clinking champagne glasses over their inheritances while I stood in the corner, gripping a wrinkled envelope like it was the only thing tethering me to the floor. Inside? Not stocks, not property, not millions. Just a single one-way plane ticket. Rome. That day, I was the joke. 6 months later, they were the ones choking on their pride, begging for forgiveness. But let me start at the beginning, because if I don't tell this right, you won't understand the game my grandfather set in motion from beyond the grave. My name is Elias Duval. I'm not the polished heir or the golden child. I'm the outsider. A high school teacher with chalk dust on my sleeves and a Honda Civic that shudders every time I hit the brakes. While they were raised in boardrooms and yachts, I was raised on history books and secondhand furniture. At that funeral, I watched them circle like wolves. Damien, my older cousin, strutted in a custom suit that probably cost more than my yearly rent, rehearsing his acceptance speech as the next great CO. His sister Celeste, hidden behind tinted lenses, was already scrolling through her phone, probably drafting captions for the yacht she was about to inherit. Their parents, Victor and Lorraine, stood close together, eyes hungry, ready to pounce the second the will was read. And me? I was invisible. Just a schoolteacher who'd driven 3 hours to bury the only man in the family who'd ever treated me like I mattered. Grandfather wasn't simple. Silas Duval was the kind of man who could turn a whisper into a kingdom. He'd started with a single rusted boat after the war and built it into an empire of cargo ships, warehouses, and power that stretched across oceans. To everyone else, he was a titan. To me, he was just the old man who showed up every Sunday with a chessboard. Those games, they weren't really about chess. They were lessons disguised as battles. He'd tell me, the most dangerous moves are the ones nobody notices until it's too late. And on his last day alive, he repeated that, but softer, almost like he was tired of playing his role. When the lawyer began reading the will, it was everything I expected. Victor and Lorraine got the estate and the portfolio. Damien got the company. Celeste got the Manhattan penthouse and the yacht. They squealed, hugged, gloated, and then came my name. To my grandson Elias, I leave this. The lawyer placed that envelope in front of me like it was a cruel joke. Then paper, my name scrawled in shaking handwriting. Inside, a single one-way ticket. Rome. The silence lasted 2 seconds before Damien burst out laughing. That's it? A vacation in coach? Congratulations, Elias, you're officially the family charity case. Celeste was already recording me, smiling like she'd won twice, money and humiliation. But when my mother, sitting quietly in the back, asked if there was anything else, the lawyer added, Yes, a letter. To be opened only upon his arrival in Rome. A letter. A ticket. That's all I got. Or at least, that's all they thought I got. That night, I stared at the ticket on my kitchen table, my bank balance glowing pathetically on the laptop screen. $1,843. My rent was due. My car needed repairs. I had essays to grade. Everything logical screamed at me not to go. But I couldn't shake his words from that last chess game. Trust is knowing when to move forward, even when you don't understand the board. So I packed a single bag, told my mother I was going, and arranged for a substitute teacher. Even my brightest student, Jasmine, noticed something in me that day. You seem different, Mr. Duval, she said. And she was right. I felt like I was stepping out of my own skin. The flight was brutal. Middle seat in the back, wedged between a snoring businessman and a woman who hogged both armrests. Damien was probably toasting himself as CEO, while Celeste posted selfies on her new yacht. And me? I was cramped in coach, flying toward a mystery I couldn't afford to chase. But for the first time in years, I felt alive. Somewhere over the Atlantic, I remembered a chess game where my grandfather sacrificed his queen. I'd been furious. "Why give up the strongest piece?" I asked. He leaned forward, eyes gleaming. "Because power isn't what you hold onto, Elias. It's what you're willing to lose to win something greater." When the plane touched down in Rome, exhaustion hit me like a wall. I had no hotel booked, no plan, no clue what I was walking into. Immigration blurred past. "Purpose of visit?" the officer asked. "I honestly don't know," I said, and he stamped my passport anyway. The arrivals hall was chaos, tourists, families, business execs. And then I saw a sign. My name Elias Duval. The man holding it wore a black suit, his posture military. He smiled in relief. "Finally, Mr. Duval. I am Lorenzo. Your grandfather arranged everything." I froze. "My grandfather? He's dead." Lorenzo just nodded. "He prepared this months ago. Please, we have a long drive." He took my bag before I could argue, leading me to a sleek black Mercedes waiting at the curb. The October air was warm, carrying scents of espresso and exhaust. I slid into the back seat, leather soft beneath me. "Where are we going?" I asked. Lorenzo met my eyes in the rearview mirror. "To Monterey Estate. 1 hour north, in the Sabine Hills. Your grandfather's estate. He has owned it for 45 years. 45 years. Since before I was even born. And in that moment, as the city blurred past, one thing became terrifyingly clear. The envelope wasn't a consolation prize. It was an invitation. And the real game, the one my cousins thought they'd already won, was only just beginning. Tell me in the comments, what would you have done? Taken the ticket, or walked away? Because trust me, this is only the beginning.